You ever feel like you're drowning in tasks? Working harder than everyone around you, staying up late, grinding through your to-do list, and somehow still falling behind? Yeah, that's because you're doing it wrong. What if I told you that 80% of what you're doing right now is a complete waste of time? And that the top 1% of productive people figured out a secret that lets them achieve more in 2 hours than most people do in a full week? Today, we are breaking down Richard Koch's The 80-20th Principle, the book that will make you rethink everything about effort, results, and what it really means to work smart. Section 1, The Lie You've Been Sold. Let me paint you a picture. You're 24. You've got a job, maybe some side hustles, big dreams. You wake up early, skip lunch, stay late. You are hustling, grinding, doing all the things the internet told you to do. But at the end of the month, you are exhausted, burnt out, and weirdly, not much closer to your goals. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. You've been lied to. Society tells us that success equals hard work. More hours equals more results. But Richard Koch flips that idea on its head with one brutal insight. 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. Think about that. Most of what you do every day doesn't matter. It's noise, busy work, stuff that feels productive but moves the needle nowhere. Koch studied this across businesses, careers, relationships, everywhere. And the pattern held. A small fraction of actions create massive results. The rest? Filler. Here's the metaphor. Imagine you're watering a garden. You've got 100 plants. But only 20 of them will actually bloom and give you fruit. The other 80? They're just sucking up water and giving you nothing back. Most people keep watering all 100. The 1%? They find the 20 that matter and pour everything into those. Practical step. So here's what you do this week. Audit your time. Write down everything you did yesterday. Then ask yourself, which of these tasks actually moved me closer to my goal? I'm willing to bet 80% of them didn't. Now ask yourself, what would happen if I only focused on the 20% that did? Section 2, The Energy Trap. Here's where it gets real. You know that feeling when you've been busy all day, emails, meetings, errands, scrolling, responding, organizing, and by 9 p.m. you collapse on the couch thinking, I worked so hard today. Why do I feel like I got nothing done? That's the energy trap. Koch calls this the illusion of effort. We confuse motion with progress. We mistake activity for achievement. And we end up exhausted from doing a bunch of stuff that didn't matter. But here's the breakthrough. The 1% don't work more, they work differently. They don't try to do everything. They ruthlessly eliminate the 80% that doesn't matter and double down on the 20% that does. They protect their time like it's gold. Because it is. Think of it like this. Your energy is a battery. Most people drain it on 100 tiny tasks. But the top performers? They save their charge for the 1 or 2 things that will actually change their life. Koch gives this crazy example. One salesperson he studied was closing 10x more deals than anyone else on the team. Was he working 10x harder? Nope. He just stopped wasting time on bad leads. He identified the 20% of clients who were most likely to buy and ignored the rest. Brutal? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. Practical step. Here's your move. Identify your vital few. What are the 1 to 3 activities in your life right now that, if you did them consistently, would create the biggest change? Maybe it's that side project you keep putting off. Maybe it's learning a skill that could 10x your income. Maybe it's finally having that hard conversation. Find your 20%. Then protect it like your life depends on it, because your future does. Ask yourself, what am I doing every day that I could stop doing, and nothing would change? Section 3, The Courage to Cut. Now here's the hard part. Knowing the 80-20th rule is one thing. Living it? That takes guts. Because applying this principle means saying no. A lot. It means cutting things out of your life. Habits, people, commitments that aren't serving you. And that's scary. You'll feel guilty. You'll feel like you're being selfish or lazy. You'll worry that you're missing out. But here's what Koch reminds us. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something that matters. The 1% understand this. They know that focus isn't about doing more, it's about doing less, better. They know that subtraction is more powerful than addition. They know that saying no is how you protect your yes. Think of your life like a sculptor with a block of marble. The masterpiece isn't created by adding more stone. It's created by chipping away everything that doesn't belong. That's what the 80-20th principle is, the art of elimination. Practical step. Here's your challenge. Pick one thing to stop doing this week. Just one. Maybe it's a meeting that doesn't need you. Maybe it's a commitment that drains you. Maybe it's scrolling at night. Cut it. See what happens. Ask yourself, what would I do with my time if I stopped doing the things that don't matter? The 80-20 principle is simple, but it's not easy. It asks you to be honest with yourself. To stop hiding behind busy work. To stop pretending that effort equals results. Here's what we covered. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Find that 20% and go all in. The 1% don't work harder, they work smarter. They eliminate the noise and focus on what moves the needle. Saying no is a superpower. Every time you cut something unimportant, you make room for something that matters. Look, I know you are tired. I know you're frustrated. I know you feel like you're working so hard and not getting anywhere. But here's the truth. You don't need to do more. You need to do less and do it better. The life you want? It's not on the other side of more hustle. It's on the other side of more focus. Rising energy, so stop watering all 100 plants. Find your 20 and watch your life bloom. If this summary helped you see your own journey differently, drop a in the comments and tell me which mindset you're working on this week. And don't just watch growth, join it. Subscribe to Book Bite USA, where every book becomes a breakthrough.